What's going on, everyone? I just want to talk real quick about why most people fail with running Facebook ads after being banned. And I'm here in Playa del Carmen right now, taking a proper vacation. You've probably seen that I've been hanging out in Colombia. I've actually been working, well, enjoying at the same time. This is a proper vacation, but nonetheless, still had our weekly call with my inner circle today. We did a few onboarding calls with some of our newest inner circle members. And something that really got me thinking was, as I have the conversations of helping people get started, helping people problem solve what to do after being banned by Facebook, really got me thinking, why do most people get banned and then they basically give up and go to TikTok or YouTube, which can work, right? Those platforms obviously do work. I personally know people doing really well with them, some better than when they were running on Facebook only, some not better. But the point that I'm trying to make is, why do people actually give up or get stuck and never have success again on Facebook after getting banned for the first time? So the first reason that I believe to be true, that I see after having hundreds, if not thousands, of conversations with different people, is that they don't try enough, right? So they get banned, then they try to do like one thing after, like they buy a profile, that gets disabled, and then they just give up, right? So that's usually it. That's the first thing. Because if you watch my other videos on my YouTube channel here, where I give actual solutions and strategies, tactics to get up and running again, first thing you should know is it's a massive action attack. It's a numbers game, right? So let's say you relaunch and you follow any of my strategies, whether it's like with pages or profiles or whatever it may be. And if you do one page or one profile or one business manager, that's the sure way to have no success, to basically be back to where you were within a matter of hours or days. So every asset you need to treat as a numbers game. That means like 10 pages you need to try to launch on all at once, following one of the strategies I share, or 10 profiles you need to push through or have backups connected, right? Because the worst thing you could do is just rely on one asset. We all know that gets us nowhere, specifically when it comes to Facebook ban solutions. Okay, so that's the most common thing I see, is people just have failure with one thing because they relied on one asset. It gets disabled after they've already been banned, and then just get like super frustrated. Okay. The second thing is they get emotional, right? So the people that have the hardest time with getting up and running again on Facebook are the ones that get super emotional. They get really frustrated because maybe their personal profile of 10 years became restricted from advertising because they did nothing wrong, which is normal. Okay. I just had one of our clients who runs White Hat coaching lead gen ads with their real profile. She got her profile restricted, and then it failed identity confirmation. Completely not her fault, and she didn't break any policy. I know this for a fact. She didn't get emotional, but a lot of people would in that case, right? So instead of being solution oriented with your thinking, like, okay, this happened, now what, right? There's multiple solutions to that. Someone that can internally unban a Facebook. Yes, if you're from Facebook and you're listening to this, your employees do this as a service. Just so you know, I don't sell it as a service. I refer out to these employees, but this does exist, right? So that's one solution. Obviously, rebuilding a new structure with purchase accounts, using the strategies I share on this channel already. That's another solution. Okay. So that's the second thing, is just getting really emotional. So if you get emotional about this stuff, look, I had bad days too. I had a bunch of my main accounts lock out last week for absolutely no explanation. They're still just stuck in review. I can't do anything to change that necessarily. There might be some things, but nonetheless, instead of being super emotional about that, I'd rather just focus on the solution, which I already have a new solution in the works. Okay. We should be up and running again within like a day. It's not a big deal. So instead of being super frustrated with the fact that those accounts got locked out, I focused on the solution. Within 24, maybe 40 hours, we were up at scale again, spending 4,000 to 5,000 a day with a solid margin on the back. And then it's almost like it never happened. Obviously, we lost 2 days, but the average person, the average marketer, would have basically just given up and like been devastated and depressed for like a month and maybe never solved it. And then got into TikTok and then got extra frustrated because their performance just wasn't as good as Facebook. And that's another skill set. The third most common thing I see, aside from being emotional and quitting super easy, because most people are weak and they will, is that people say Facebook doesn't work anymore. It just ain't the case. Like if I showed you my P&L, my profit and loss for my business, you would know this definitely still works, right? Like Facebook advertising absolutely still works. Has it taken a hit since iOS? Has performance gone down overall? Has competition gone up? Well, that's arguable with the bans. But generally speaking, Facebook may be more expensive than it was in 2019. But Facebook absolutely still works, okay? Don't let anyone fool you. Anyone that tells you Facebook doesn't work just because we're not seeing like 30 to 50 cent cost per click like we did 2017 through 2019 with really good creatives in the US market, doesn't mean this doesn't work anymore, all right? I can promise you that Facebook works. I'll show you the proof that Facebook works. And I wouldn't have a really awesome large group of high-level advertisers in my inner circle if it didn't work. They would be on TikTok or YouTube, which does work, just it's not Facebook, right? So my suggestion is first that you join my free Discord underneath this video, okay? And make sure to download my free guide, Facebook Bulletproof System, that shows you what to do if and when you get banned from Facebook, how to get up and running roughly in 7 to 10 days if you do it right. So make sure to check that out. But more importantly, don't act with a single asset. You need multiple of everything. The second thing is you can't get emotional. And third, Facebook absolutely still works. Maybe you're just not that good of a marketer, which you can change is the good news. It might be a harsh reality, but it's a good news, okay? I wasn't always a good marketer. And that's all I have to share with you today. I'll see you in the next video.